Last summer, after a beautiful day, my cousin and I sneaked out of the house around 1:30 a.m. We were in the village, and to avoid being seen by the other villagers, we walked about 2 to 3 kilometers into the forest. Then, it started raining, and soon turned into a downpour. We knew we couldn't run all the way home like that. We would attract too much attention. So, we decided to wait under a tree, even though we were getting soaked. At that moment, we saw a beam of light coming from inside an abandoned house. My cousin and I argued about it for a while because the house was in ruins. I insisted that we could take shelter from the rain, and I dragged my cousin there. We walked about 100 meters. When we entered the house, we were at least somewhat protected from the rain. Just then, my cousin told me he heard the sound of someone crying. I hadn't heard anything and told him not to be ridiculous. But 10 to 15 seconds later, I heard it too. It wasn't a baby's cry. It sounded more like a woman crying. The sound was coming from the basement. We slowly approached and carefully opened the door. We were terrified, and my cousin ran away. I was left alone. Overcome by curiosity, I stepped inside and saw a woman with a bruised and battered face, crying. At that moment, she looked directly at me, and in fear, I ran after my cousin all the way back to our house. Luckily, we managed to get inside without being seen. But I couldn't find my cousin at home. Filled with fear, I lay in my bed. About 20 minutes later, I found my cousin in his room, trembling and unable to speak. I had no idea when he got there, but from that night on, he never spoke again.